So this video is going to show you everything that you can do with the set button. Everything you need to set up on the product is basically done with the set button. So if I push the set button, I can set the mic gain. So if I quickly press it, I'm turning this knob, I'm setting the mic gain. Another way to set the mic gain is if you hold the set button while singing into the product, yada 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 yada. See, it flashed, turned red there for a second. That means that it set the mic gain. So let's see what it set the mic gain. There. So that set the mic gain of the product automatically. You don't have to manually set it. You can also, if you hold the set button and press 1, you can turn on and off adaptive tone. So I'll let you hear what adaptive tone sounds like. Okay, so this is the product here. There, so that's the product, and I believe adaptive tone is probably on. If I hold the set button, press 1. That is adaptive tone off. Turn it back on again. Another thing you do with the set button is to turn on phantom power. Hold the set button, press 2, phantom power off, phantom power on. Hold the set button, press the number 3. I can set it for, that's MP75. That's the LED beside the set button is green. MP76, that's yellow. Red, it's hard to see what the color is there, but that's the mic control is off. So if I'm using any normal microphone, if it doesn't have mic control, it's best to have it turned off because you can actually get weird signals for mic control if you don't have a mic control type microphone connected. Another thing you can do is if I create a drum pattern, I can erase parts of the drum pattern by holding set and pushing the kick or the snare. I'll erase the snare. There. So I just erase the snare. And now I've got a new snare in there. Another thing I can do is if I record some audio into the loop, yeah, 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 yeah. I can erase that audio by holding the set button and pushing the loop button. There. So that's a few things. Another thing you can do with the set. And here's how to set the MIDI channel. So I've got a MIDI keyboard connected to the product, and it's not responding. If I hold a set button and press a key on the MIDI keyboard, there, now it responds immediately. So you can also set the split point using the set button and a MIDI keyboard. So you hold a set button, press a MIDI key, and then an adjacent key. So it has to be like right adjacent to it, and that will set the split point either above if you press a note above the first key that pressed, or below if you press a key that's below the first note pressed. So here we go. So it's responding to notes above this F and not below the F. If I want to set a specific octave to be playing above or below the split point, I do an adjacent note that's not right adjacent to it. Like so, an interval. If I have an interval, so basically, if I hold this note and then play notes above it, I can set what octave it is. So if the lowest note is going to be the lowest octave that you can set. So here we go. Yeah. So that's a low octave, and then it'll go up an octave each note above that, and similar below it. So now this is going to be a really high one because it's like the highest. But if I go lower than that, I can actually set a split point here high up on the keyboard, but I can make it like a bass note way up here. So here we go again. Yeah. So that's how setting MIDI split notes, split points, MIDI channel, and octave.